If you want to be notified when Breakfast Club videos go up, remember to subscribe and click the bell.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Hey guys, Nathan Brendan Masters, Breakfast Club Wednesdays. I'm here on the right day this time. But I wanted to talk about this video from Tim Pool. I saw this earlier today and it was very interesting. I think more and more people need to see this. I wish everyone could see this. The media is kind of creating this kind of hit list, if you will, of people that they don't want to speak. And I'm going to play a little bit of this from Tim's video, and we'll talk about it afterward.
The other day, a group called Data and Society published a false and defamatory study. And the reason I say it's false and defamatory is because it includes me in rather negative ways, but the information, the facts they present are incorrect. So I'm not a lawyer. I don't necessarily know how it works, but I can say that they've made a statement of fact that I have collaborated as a guest, host, or collaborator with several channels I have never interacted with. They placed me actually in the middle of this graph of all of these reactionary right-wing channels. That's what they call it.
Now, the thing I want to point out here real quick is that this is not about right-wing per se. This is about people who have influence and are not necessarily far left. This is not about you being far right as much as it's just about you not being far left.
But I do want to talk a little bit about some other ideas before going into the article specifically. Simply having certain subject matter as the core of what I cover. I cover like cultural issues, be it protests or now it's the culture war. That is enough to warrant being called right wing. But I'm not. For those of you that follow my channel, you know that I'm a social liberal. I get a lot of criticism when I say things like diversity is a strength, or when I say things like the Me Too movement has done really great things and getting rid of these horrible monsters has been spectacular, but we want to make sure we protect the innocent. Is that a controversial statement?
Well, in this political climate, it is a controversial statement, but that's a whole different story.
The article in question, the study, claims that these YouTubers, of which they include me, are far-right reactionaries, but they also have Joe Rogan on there, which is just ridiculous. They claim that we want traditionalism, we oppose social justice and feminism. How many times do I have to say on my channel that I'm actually for social justice, just not authoritarianism? I believe diversity is a good thing, but I don't believe attacking white people is diversity. I don't have traditional views. I am not conservative, and I refuse to call myself such. I'm a social liberal.
Now, I'm going to cut this video up a little bit, so you can go on his channel, and you should go on his channel and check out his whole video about this, because I'm going to be cutting it up just so I can talk about the stuff that I specifically want to talk about.
Full disclosure, I do know people at Data and Society who are high up, and I don't want to say too much to respect their privacy, so I'm actually surprised this past, I don't know if they checked this, because there are people associated with Data and Society who I've known for years. And I have sent them a mildly worded letter, not very strong, but I said, please correct this. It's factually incorrect as it pertains to me. So they start by saying this report identifies and names the Alternative Influence Network, an assortment of scholars, media pundits, and internet celebrities who use YouTube to promote a range of political positions, from mainstream versions of libertarianism and conservatism all the way to overt white nationalism. Content creators in the AIN claim to provide an alternative media source for news and political commentary. They function as political influencers who adopt the techniques of brand influencers to build audiences and sell them on far-right ideology. This first paragraph is important because they mention libertarianism and conservatism all the way to white nationalism. However, I am a social liberal who regularly espouses social liberal opinions, especially on my second channel.
Now, this is going to become important because of the very overt character assassination that they try to pull off here. And this is not just of him, but a ton of people. So let's look at it.
Right in the middle, they include me. And this is false. There is a line from me to Coach Red Pill. I have no idea who Coach Red Pill is. There is a line from me to some black guy. I have never collaborated with or even I don't believe I've interacted with some black guy. It says in the top left, each line indicates that 2 connected influencers appeared in the same YouTube video during the period of January 1st and April 1st, serving as guests, hosts, or collaborators. She is not saying that someone simply mentioned me. She is specifically saying I was a guest, a host, or a collaborator. So first of all, yes, Carl Benjamin. Now there's a line from me to Andy Worski. I don't believe I may have met Andy Worski at VidCon, but I don't believe we've ever actually interacted or anything of that nature. Maybe I said hi. I never made a video about him. I'm pretty sure I've never appeared on his channel. Some black guy, never happened. They have a line from me to Destiny. I only somewhat know who Destiny is. I've never interacted with him. They have a line from me to Kalen Robertson. Now, at the time of this study, I have never interacted with Kalen Robertson, but he did briefly appear in a video in May, a month after the study, when I was on the ground in London and asked him what was going on. But to imply, this line here, as it pertains to the study, is factually incorrect. Look, I've never interacted with half these people. They have a line from me to Destiny. I don't know who he is. There is no line from me to Blaire White, but Andy Worski, I've never interacted with him. Yet they draw these connections, and this is factually incorrect data. So I want to say right off the bat, if you make a study, and the premise of the study is fundamentally incorrect, the rest of the study is wrong.
Now, I would say this. If all of these connections that they say exist actually do exist, they should have no problem actually showing the video about this, showing the videos where all these connections are made. And I think that Tim should get in touch with the lawyer and then maybe try to force them to show this evidence, which I doubt that they will show. I doubt that they are even able to show that because they're probably just making this stuff up. Now, you're probably saying, Nathan, that's kind of unfair. You don't know that they're making it up. I'm just guessing they are, generally going by what the media has done in the past. With these little kind of outfits and things have done in the past, they're probably making it up. If not, they should have no problem showing their proof or opening themselves up for a libel lawsuit, which I think Tim should actually do and possibly get some money out of this or an apology. Now, there's a lot of people on this list that I would say may or may not be alt-right. But what I find interesting is these are all people who are influential, and they're not towing the far left, what we would call SJW line, if you want to use that descriptor. They're people who dissent. They don't agree with the far left, which I would say is probably most people. I personally don't agree with it, and a lot of other people don't agree with it. And these are the people who basically have a large audience, and that audience keeps growing. So this looks like a hit list. This is, hey, these are the people you need to shut down. And that's why this kind of thing is very dangerous. As you notice, they're not being very honest about who these people are. And the reason I keep using the word alt-right is very specific, because that's what everyone thinks. People don't particularly think in terms of libertarian or conservative and stuff like that. The alt-right is the big threat, and that's what they're going to try to show these people to be. These alt-right people who are trying to take over the country. And let me be clear, there are some definite alt-right people on here. When you talk about people like Richard Spencer, who for all intents and purposes, it pretty much is the alt-right. You have people like that on here. You also have people like Jordan Peterson on here, who we know, if you've listened to Jordan Peterson, he's not alt-right. He doesn't claim to be alt-right, and he doesn't seem to believe in those views. You have people on here like Some Black Guy and Joe Rogan, as talked about. You have Ben Shapiro on here. People like that who are not alt-right. And when I say alt-right, again, I'm talking white nationalists / white supremacists or white identitarians. And again, this is all about identitarian politics. I also see Blaire White and Roaming Millennial on here, people who I would definitely call conservative, not necessarily alt-right. That guy T, along with, I think I mentioned Derek from Some Black Media, or he's known Some Black Guy. Those two guys, kind of hard for black guys to be white identitarians. Kind of difficult on that front. But I think you get my point. A lot of people on this list who don't come anywhere near being alt-right. Some may be conservative, some may be libertarian, as stated. And some of these people are actually social liberals. And as I stated before, the big deal here, the big problem about this is not about who is alt-right as much as it's about who's not far left. So I just thought this was a very interesting thing that people should see, that they have this, what I would call a hit list of people that they are afraid of. And we're talking about the media, and this is something that has gotten beyond the internet, as a matter of fact. This is something that's gotten into the mainstream media. So this is a group of YouTubers who the media will be coming after soon, or you may see them get the same treatment that Alex Jones got, this kind of cleansing. And those people, especially if they have a large audience, they're going to try to shut them down, especially if they are in independent media. And they're going to try to remove these people, in my belief, try to remove these people from public platforms. And they're going to probably trump up some type of charge against them. And goodness knows a lot of these people do have bad reputations, even if they haven't really done anything. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Other than that, you guys take it easy. Nathan Brendan Masters.
To the other side, my love. You say you wanna try.